Hey, what's up? Welcome to Movie Dumpster Season 4, Episode 15. Today we're talking about TerrorVision from 1986, directed by Ted Nicolau. I'm Joel Escola.
I'm Sean O'Rourke.
I'm Connor, Attack of the Holy Tomatoes McGraw.
I'm Serj Guzzler Murillo.
Welcome to the dumpster. Holy shit! Here we are. We have one of our biggest, not only good friends that we've met on this journey, but one of the OG dumpster dwellers, fellas, joining us today on an episode.
Joe, you can call me a fan.
What is that supposed to mean? You are, yeah.
Connor is just tickled by that.
I'm wearing your merch.
He's been here since the beginning, the dawn of Movie Dumpster.
How dare you flatter me so much?
Yeah. Fuck me. All right, you know what? Fuck you. How does that sound? That's it. It's over.
Oh my god, that was the best no-sell of a fucking glowing introduction I've ever heard in my life. Just call me a fan wherever it stops.
Oh, man. Serj is one of those folks that's given us more support than the last of a lifetime over the past few years, and I just want to be the one to say thank you. And of course, you know, Connor and Sean are here. They could say thank you as well. But like, you know, just us as a whole, as Movie Dumpster, as an entity, we really appreciate you, man. And thanks for all you've done for us and supporting us over these past few years. And we couldn't be happier to have somebody like you listening to the show.
Hey, man, you guys have dished it back in full. Like, I don't know. I reached out to y'all when your show was super new. My band was super new. Like, timeline-wise, Lethean and Movie Dumpster kind of, you know, started appearing around the same time. Cheesy little posts that I make about you guys, calling you inspirations. Totally true, man. Like,
you brought me to tears before. You sure did. I kind of needed that right now where I am in my life. So that was thank you.
I think you created one of the first Movie Dumpster memes with Granny Van Dam trying to get you.
Standing behind me in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Shotgun and all.
Oh yeah, she's got that wheelchair pushed up against you, Serj. You better watch out.
You had a Movie Dumpster themed dessert, for Christ's sake, for your birthday, did you not?
That's Trey's girlfriend's doing.
Whoa.
Meredith is a G, dude.
That is amazing.
I mentioned on the show, too, that Serj was reaching out to me during that whole break I had, too, and he's been a fucking saint the entire time. So.
For people that may not know who you guys are, can you just tell the good people out there?
Yeah, introduce yourselves. What do you do?
Yeah, my name is Serj. I sing. I go, semi-professionally.
Not only are you the lead singer for Lethean, but you guys also covered our theme music, and it fucking rules, dude. It rips so hard.
Yeah, man, it's a banger. Like, we did that for sure.
It's awesome, dude.
I remember when you sent us some early samples of this, and I'm going to steal a word from Justin from Epic Film Guys for a second. I was getting a little wet in the loins.
We are wet loin makers.
Yeah, there you go. It's coming right through the pants, fellas.
Sorry.
I think I recall there's a Baldwin reference in there, if I'm not mistaken.
With a dolphin dive, yeah.
You're talking about, you got the wizards in there. You got everybody cooking in there.
Yeah. I got to do a dolphin dive myself. We're planning on doing a video for it.
Oh my
I've got
god.
my form down, dude. I got the soft arch in my back, like blowhole.
That sounds wonderful. We cannot wait to see it. And of course, we will post it everywhere.
And to find out about Daniel Baldwin's fucking dolphin dive, go back and listen to that In Pursuit episode from 2 years ago.
Yeah, oh hell yeah. So yeah, where can everyone find Lethean?
Spotify, YouTube, all kinds of places. Definitely hit up the YouTube. Not that we've made it super clear up until now, but we do video stuff as well. We did a Halloween special last year about TerrorVision.
Yes! This was so cool.
Yeah, it's fucking rad.
Yeah, after that, we did a music video and actually produced almost entirely in-house a 30-minute pseudo anthology short film with 4 live tracked songs and snippets in between.
That's so fucking cool, guys. Like, you guys are like making like small films to your music, which is fucking so cool.
And they're spooky.
And they're spooky, scary, and great. So definitely go check them out. But this is our first episode. We're doing a Fallen Empire month this month for the month of August. And we're taking a look at maybe not lesser, I would say lesser known Empire Pictures films.
Yeah.
We've done a few already, guys. We've done like one of the earliest ones we've done was Dungeon Master.
Yeah, Robot Jocks, absolutely.
Yeah, we've kind of tackled like the very beginning of Empire and the very end of Empire, but there's some delicious sweetness in between there. And we kind of were just like, there's a lot of Ghoulies talk going around lately, and we were like, shit, there's a bunch of films in this pantheon that we want to cover. We're not going to do Reanimator, so spoilers, or From Beyond.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet, at least. But, those are like super well-known ones, but we wanted to...
Oh, wait. The criminally under-discussed Reanimator?
Yeah. I mean, there's so much that has been said about that already. So, we figured we'd take the dive, starting with TerrorVision, and then we got some other good ones. But it's going to be all Empire Pictures themed this month. So your the watch along is for Patreon is going to be Empire Pictures. The commentary track is going to be Empire. And of course, we have 2 other episodes this month for our event month.
And to hear that commentary track we're going to put out, and to see the watch along, just head over to patreon.com/moviedumpster. And if you sign up for the $5 or $10 tier, you get access to those and all the replays. So anyone that we put out already, so last month we put out our Blood Hook commentary track. That's a fucking trip, that movie.
Oh, yeah. Sure was.
Killer Fisherman. Never knew it existed until Joe's like, hey, I got a fucking banger for you guys.
Bless that Agent Orange. Okay.
Well, does the killer from A Night You Did Last Summer count as a fisherman killer?
Yeah, but this guy's a literal fisherman.
Right, exactly.
You see him fish as opposed to showing up.
Fish hookerman.
Yeah.
Don't want to spoil too much. Go sign up for that Patreon. Go check it out. All right.
I was going to say, with this movie and it being Empire, there's some amusing cross-pollinations from movies we watched before in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's a Charles Band joint, so there's that right off the bat.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we've discussed Empire Pictures a bunch on this show before. Again, go listen to that Dungeon Master episode. Go listen to that Robot Jocks episode. I think between those two and this one, you're going to get the full scope of things. So Charlie Band makes one of his first movies is Parasite, or his second movie is actually Parasite, and then he begins this production company, Empire Pictures, and it opens with Dungeon Master is one of them, and things they start to kick off in like 83, but it really doesn't come to fruition until Ghoulies is dropped in 1985, and then everything starts picking up because it's like one of the most critically successful films at that time for Empire theatrically, right? So you got Ghoulies in there, you got Trancers in there. We're not going to be doing Trancers this month, but you know what? You can go check out our buddy Tony's and Newt's review over on Hack the Movies, because they did Trancers, and I know they're going to be covering the whole Trancer series, so go check that out. And of course, the Reanimator films. Now, midway through Empire's production, right? Through all these movies where Charlie was trying to get out like 3 movies a year or some shit. Some crazy thing where he was trying to pump these out. So do it like low-budget films, but on a kind of theatrical scale, you know, theatrical quality films. Not like a B movie that would just go direct to video or what have you. You know, they wanted to start a big production company and rival, you know, like the bigwigs in Hollywood or what have you. So mid 80s, he buys the Dino De Laurentiis studio, which we're going to talk a little bit about in this episode.
Oh, with such big hits like Deep Blood, what a classic.
Hey, I'm Dino De Laurentiis. Hey.
Give me the Orca movie or the King Kong movie.
What if we name Jessica Lange Dewan? It'll light up the skies.
Hey, we have to remove all the air conditioning units. Hey.
So right in the middle of that, like now we're at peak, and we get this film, TerrorVision, we get Eliminators, we get From Beyond, and of course Troll. Rawhead Rex is in there. I mean,
yeah, the first episode of the show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Redid Rawhead Rex as well. That was in there.
Tepid beginnings.
There's so many, like, when you think about Empire Pictures, there's so many films that are in that catalog that you don't, like, realize sometimes, you know what I mean? But yeah, and like we discussed in that Robot Jocks episode, like, you know, the decline is in 88. So it's a very short-lived success, and then everything kind of, you know, fucking rolls downhill and they go bankrupt. And then of course the last film in the Empire Pictures library is Robot Jocks, I believe it's the last one or the one right before it gets released, because the films that were in production end up getting released under Charlie Band's new production company, Full Moon Pictures. And we all know what happened with that, you know, Puppet Master, and the rest is history in 89.
The birth of Charnetsky.
Yeah, we get demonic toys in there. Yeah.
Empire had to die so that Charnetsky could be born.
And here they still reign in 2021.
Yeah, they have their own Tubi subcategory.
Yeah. Coming out with an Oopsie baby movie. Oopsie Daisy the movie.
You know we're going to be tackling that, right?
Ripe reviews.
Yeah, sign me up.
Let me just slide this revolver between my teeth.
But yeah, just in general, we wanted to cover Empire Pictures because there's so many great pieces of B film that I personally owe a lot to growing up and being influential in my life. I mean, you know, we have everybody here from Stuart Gordon to Peter Manoogian, like we just talked about, Demonic Toys guy, who will be actually doing a watch along, or I think that's a commentary track for his film, which we will reveal. And even like David Schmoller, dude, and of course Ted Nicolau, you know, well, we're going to talk about Ted. But anyway, yeah, so Empire Pictures.
And Buechler also was working on Troll at the same time as this movie, I believe he was.
Yeah, well, I want to jump into that when we actually talk about TerrorVision. So yeah, that's your Empire Pictures kind of background for the foundation of this event month. But yeah, so here we are, TerrorVision, written and directed by Ted Nicolau, the man famous for things like Subspecies, and one of my favorites is Dragon World, and he's done what was the other one? Bad Channels he did too for Full Moon.
Bad Channels.
Oh, dude, it's so good. So most of these flicks under the Empire banner was kind of the way that canon films were made, almost, where like Charlie was like, "Hey, I got this idea in this poster art. Here you go." Yeah.
I just heard about this like an hour ago. He's like, I got a cool poster. Someone's like, that's funny. Make it.
Yeah, and Ted's like, okay. So he writes the script, and Charlie originally wanted it to be like a more straightforward horror flick, but like what Ted did with it, I feel like really enhanced the entire experience, or the way the trajectory of this film, rather.
He said, make it funny, but also make fun of rich people in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, dude, there's all kinds of stereotypes going on.
Does anyone want to guess how long this movie lasted the movie theaters?
I actually read this stat. That was kind of interesting.
It is upsetting, and apparently it was because of a horrific national tragedy that happened about a week prior or something like that.
Yeah.
Challenger space shuttle exploded, and I guess the American people were like, Yeah, fuck all movies about space right now.
Oh man, that was like an insult to injury, right? Because like again, like we're trying to do Charlie's trying to do 3 movies a year, and TerrorVision is the last one to be completed that year, and like no money is left to promote it either. So it's like that on top of the Challenger exploding. It's like this movie got the fucking shaft hard.
What good stuff went into it? What good people behind the scenes? What good people like in front of the camera, let alone. We're going to get into that in a little bit, I'm sure, but no way.
I mean, there is B-movie royalty in this fucking movie, man. And
so what was it? What was it? 4 days or something like that?
4 days.
Holy shit.
And it made like what, $300,000 or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Which is like nothing.
I mean, that's shockingly better than some of the actual modern day like disasters I've heard of. There was like some George Lucas produced animated film that made like $100,000 and then just died.
Oof.
Yeah.
And that's a bitch too, because it didn't reach its audience. It's like TerrorVision's one of those sleeper hits, right? Like it took fucking what, 30 years, 35 years to fucking
oh yeah,
to find it, you know? I mean, if you were skulking around the fucking video store, like we were, or like, you know, or just like in the horror culture and like into horror films, you could probably find it at your local mom and pop shop.
Or if you had a friend named Joe Lascola that was like, "Hey, watch this movie. It's fucking crazy," and you're me, and you're like, "Okay."
I think originally, again, this is another one of those badmovies.org joints where I was like, that's where I learned about it to like firsthand. And then I actually, the first time I saw this flick, I remember finding it at the A to Z video in Toms River, New Jersey, and renting it. And now I actually own that copy that I used to rent on tape.
Oh my God, you do?
Yeah, that's the tape that I have.
You were there when that store closed, didn't you? Weren't you?
I was, but I was also 16 or 17, and I
yeah, so just working on pocket change.
I had like no money to really get a ton of shit, but I did rescue a nice stack. One of them being the Rawhead Rex I have is from there as well.
I went into a dying Blockbuster, and that was just morbidly upsetting. I was like, "There's nothing left, and you're even selling the shelves." Like,
we got 35 copies of Titanic. Can you please take one?
My little video store I used to go to up in the mountains up north, a little town called Sholo has a spot called the Dome. That's a skate shop on the it's a skate shop on the second floor and a video store on the bottom floor. And my girlfriend and I went in there looking for something, and I think I went home with a copy of like Mirrors, because I couldn't find anything else that was worth it.
Oh my God, is that Keith Sutherland movie?
Okay.
I saw that in the theaters.
But the unrated version, worth
the unrated version is sick.
It's awful. It hurts. It's bad for you, but kind of worth it.
It's kind of worth it for that opening shot, just the girl just removing her own fucking jaw in unrated glory.
Before we let this go, the sister in the bathtub.
Yeah. Yep.
Now I need to look this shit up, because now you've piqued my curiosity. I'll go watch the supercut on YouTube.
Just look up the dead meat fucking breakdown. You're good to go.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm sure he's covered it.
Yeah. Other than that, it's trash.
So yeah. So moving on. I mean, like, we're gonna get to all the cast in this movie as we go through it, because it's just fantastic. We got my boy John Buechler behind the effects on this with mechanical and makeup imageries. And we got a young Rob Kurtzman and Cleve Hall and John Bullock and Mike Deek working on this fucking movie. They put this monster together in a week.
Damn.
And it was on set in a week.
The week after Troll wrapped.
Yeah, Connor was alluding to this before, too. They were literally shooting Troll and wrapping it up as they started production on TerrorVision.
Yeah, Buechler was burning the candle at both ends.
Buechler.
Buechler. Yeah, I look at his name, I'm like, there's a U in there.
It's okay.
So I have a quote from him, I guess, regarding the monster's design, and the only thing he said was, "Make it look stupid." And that's the fucking funniest thing.
Well, up until that point, Buechler's known for making monsters that kind of resemble him with a very prominent brow. Like, if you look at some of those ghoulies, like especially the fish ghoulie, you can see like it has a very prominent brow, and it kind of looks like, or Baby Oopsie Daisy too, kind of looks like John himself. And Ted didn't want that. He wanted something stupid looking or crazy looking, and they butt heads a lot on the design. But in my opinion, I think it's one of fucking John's most iconic creatures outside of like ghoulies, you know what I mean, or outside the demonic toys, or obviously the troll design. But man, it looks like a big fucking booger, but like super interesting John Carl Buechler booger, you know?
Did he design Jason for Part 7?
Yeah, he designed and directed that film.
That is my favorite Jason design, hands down.
Oh, yeah, man.
I was going to say, though, this monster, I don't know if anyone's ever played Earthbound, but there's this big fucking booger monster in that game that I swear to God they must have stole the concept from this movie.
That's so fucking crazy, man.
It's covered in... So they had gallons of, like, what you use to make KY... like just all, and they just covered this fucking thing in this gross lube, and they said it stained everywhere it went.
Oh yeah.
And the sets were obnoxiously hot, and they had to pipe in fresh air to the people in the fucking monster suit, or they were gonna die. This whole set sounds smelly.
Oh my God.
I heard the rest of the cast was about to die from the AC thing. Let's cut that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, apparently fucking Dino like ripped everything out, so there was no air conditioning or anything.
Yes. Yeah.
And the fucking building was falling apart, and like Troll and TerrorVision were the first two films to be shot there in Rome, in the Dino De Laurentiis production house. So, like, Charlie bought it for like what, $200 million or $2 million or $200,000, some shit like that. But it was fucking falling apart, dude. And there's no AC, and everybody's running around in there, and everything had to be built and stuff. And like you guys said, with the fucking the
Hot
heat and
Italy summer.
Yeah, hot. They shot it in what, August in Italy, and that's like
Yes.
And nobody even visits Rome in August because it's so fucking hot, dude. So I could imagine.
I also wouldn't be surprised if they ran out of that liquid gel or whatever, and they just, they call up Cumdar, he comes down. He just, sprays and prays.
I'm gonna fucking get you wet.
Cumdar's in my fucking hair sometimes. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm covered in Cumdar. It's hot as shit here and humid.
Ooh, yeah.
Grandpa's covered in Cumdar at one part in this movie. Well, not in Cumdar, but in cum from Cumdar.
Yeah, it sure is.
It's not humid here, but the air here is so fucking it's like an oven, and I walk outside and like I have these sunglasses I got. I can't wear them because the first thing that happens when I step outside is I sweat into my eyeballs immediately. And it's just miserable.
Now I'm just picturing Walter Peck like walking around in that kind of like environment. It's like 110 degrees out, and he gets hit with that fucking blob of white shit, and it just like it goes around him and just hits the ground. He just has like a very thin like layer around him because it's so hot off. It just sloops off him.
It becomes liquid and just hits the ground.
It would probably cool him off, dude, you think?
He puts his hand up, thumbs up to Cumdar. He's got this cum dripping off his nose.
He's like, all right, yeah, thanks.
It's the first time he's welcoming the hot spray on him because it's like, what, 20 degrees lower than it is outside?
He's like, I don't care. It's some form of moisture.
We've just about moved on, but before we skip past it, I want to have myself a little Buechler bit.
Yeah, go for it.
John, thank you.
Yes.
I love being scared. I like the sensation that comes with fright. My house sounds like a Halloween haunted house year round. It's decorated, and I live for that shit. There's something uncanny about Buechler's work. A lot of it's plastic. A lot of it's, rubber, plastic, all that. A lot of it's hands in things. What the one that really got me was Carnosaur.
Oh, yeah, man.
Little kid in the 90s, obsessed with dinosaurs. Carnosaur slides across my floor. Mom tosses it at me, says, "Hey, watch this. I'm gonna go take a nap or something." I watch Carnosaur, and then I watch it again and again, and each time it just ramps up, dude. There's something about the hand puppets that's just so violent and wants to come at you and malleable and touchable.
Yeah, man. Those dinosaur puppets are some of the coolest shit. And it's unfortunate that we didn't get more of that.
Oh, dude, rip the Carnosaur series.
Was there any more past 3? Like, did anybody kind of, exploit that franchise into the ground?
Well, there is another film that's kind of like unofficially Carnosaur 4, which is like Raptor Island or some bullshit like that. Again, Tony from Hack the Movies asked me a few years ago because he was trying to get the rights for it. And he's like, "Oh, you want to like come do like effects for the dinosaurs?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." Sadly, it didn't go off the ground, but I would still love to make Carnivore at some point.
Carnivore.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's almost as good as my proposed calling Deep Blue Sea 2 the Deep Blue sequel.
Deepest Bluest.
No, Deep Blue sequel. What is wrong with you people? You call it the Deep Blue sequel and you spell it SCA.
I don't get it.
We'll call it Now You See Me Too.
My head is like, what? Okay.
My head is like a shark's fin.
You know, for the Meg series, if they ever make a sequel, they're just going to go right to 3 so they can change the E in Meg to a 3.
Mithreg.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. You change that fucking A to a 4 in Carnosaur, then you get Carnophore. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
So before we get down into this, deep down into the fucking the mucus slime of this flick, we got Richard Band on composing, and originally it wasn't gonna be Richard Band. Fucking Ted wanted to get the guy from the Cramps to do it, but he was like going on tour. And then he actually sat down with fucking Frank Zappa and like screened it for Frank Zappa.
Whoa.
Could you imagine what this fucking movie would have been like scored by Zappa?
I mean, I do like the music in this already, but damn, that would have been fucking incredible.
Right, and it just didn't work out. So Rich ends up doing the score, but then they also get the Fibonacci's to do a couple songs, and of course the fucking banger of a theme song, the TerrorVision theme song, is so fucking good.
That's my favorite thing about this movie.
It's amazing. But yeah, without further ado, as our guest, we like when you plot crunch it for us. So, Serj, take it away.
I wanted to recreate the thing from our Halloween special. It went something like an alien garbage trash monster from Pluton gets transported to Earth. It was going to be thrown away. It's a whole thing. He's got dog food that he likes, and somebody hates him, and they throw him away. He gets shot across space. I can also say Grandpa's unwanted dog takes over the house.
Yeah, more or less, as we find out later that these things are basically house pets to this other planet.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the lesson is that everybody gets closer together by the end.
You could say that, yeah.
You could say they become a family unit.
Quite literally.
A single family unit.
Just taking care of business.
Oh, man, call it a family volume at that point.
Ball in the family, yeah. So yeah, so here we are, man. And again, you pop that tape in, get that fucking Sweet Empire Pictures logo coming up. You know you're in for a good fucking time.
And then Krang is in some kind of containment unit, and he's like, Shredder!
So we open up on planet Pluton, and it's great. It's like this shitty 50s like homage kind of scene, and we see this fucking monster get jettisoned out into space. And then it slam cuts to the title sequence, which is like the this TV, this staticky TV, and like these awesome titles going over it to the Fibonacci song, the TerrorVision theme song. It's so fucking good, guys.
The Plutons are just taking out their trash.
Yeah, pretty much space garbage.
Yeah, bouncing it off different planets like a fucking pinball machine.
Yeah.
Is it trash or is this a stray pet? Because later on someone's like, hold up.
Well, their garbage is unlike ours.
Yeah, Pluthar from Pluton is like, my hungry beast pet mutated, and we usually get rid of it. We shoot it into the cosmos, which is usually fine, except you have things on your planet that harness the energy beam, and this thing gets shot into a fucking satellite dish that some guy purchases.
Our planet has dumb assholes that purchase do-it-yourself 100s and hit them with hammers.
I told you, Mr. P, they're sort of temperamental.
Yeah, we get introduced to these set of characters here, Mom and Dad.
Dude, Mary Warrenoff.
Woo!
Playing Raquel Putterman.
Also from, she has a quick cameo in Chopping Mall that I finally watched in the beginning.
Chopping Mall, Rock and Roll High School, Death Race 2000, Night of the Comet, fucking, she's in a great episode of Monsters Pillow Talk, which I really like.
I think I first recognized her in House of the Devil, where her facial structure is put to phenomenal use.
Oh, dude, she's iconic.
Wait. The recent movie House of the Devil? Holy shit, I gotta watch that again now. She was originally cast in this to play Medusa and really wanted to be the mom, so I guess that's how that kind of worked out.
I think it worked out better, man, honestly, because she is fantastic.
Hey, man, you find somebody that wants to do something in particular, let them sink their teeth into it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Ted was like, yeah, okay, you're great, do whatever you want. It's one of my first movies. So.
Well, then you have Dad, Stanley, played by Garrett Graham. This guy's in everything.
Fucking Phantom of the Paradise, Child's Play 2, The Demon Seed,
Chopping Mall again.
Yeah, he's in Chopping Mall, yeah. Man, he is, I love him in Phantom of the Paradise as fucking Beef. He's fucking great, dude.
Getting horny and damn frustrated.
I'm your nightmare coming true. I am your crime.
Yeah, man. We were watching TerrorVision, and my girlfriend was like, "That's the guy from Star Trek." And I was like,
Oh, that too? Yeah.
Guy from Star Trek. He is essentially guy in Star Trek at points.
Yeah. He's a that guy for sure.
Oh, is he a red shirt or something? Does he show up like just...
Possibly. I don't know. The guy's in a million things, and he's fantastic.
That wouldn't shock me.
Well, he's his satellite dish isn't working, and he's trying to fix it. Meanwhile, Grandpa arrives at the door.
Grandpa just coming back from his MAGA rally.
He's got this fucking captain's hat, from the Navy or the Army, but it has all these
die-cast planes stuff.
Yeah, die-cast planes, toy planes inserted into the fucking hat.
And wide eyes.
Oh, yeah.
He is based off of a street performer whose name I forget.
It's Hershey something. Hershey General.
Captain Hershey. Yeah, it's General Hershey or something like that. And it's this dude who looks basically like that, but he also has this obnoxious red headdress or something attached to his hat.
Oh, man. We also can't forget Diane Franklin, guys. She plays Susie Putterman.
Oh, yeah, the sister.
She's so electric in this.
Oh, dude, she's like a Cyndi Lauper mashup. She's fantastic. And you've seen her in, Better Off Dead and the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And I think she's in
Amityville too.
Is she? I don't remember.
So her hair is just several wigs glued together and then colored, so they wanted to make it look as ridiculous as possible. And yeah, Cyndi Lauper was the inspiration.
It's like Madonna and Cyndi Lauper matchup. I mean, she's great.
Her eye makeup is on point.
Yeah, I love it.
She kind of reminds me of Violet from Friday 5.
Kinda. She's super sweet.
Everything is totally radical.
Oh, yeah, she's Valley girling it up, man.
Squidsville, mommy.
I love when Grandpa walks in and he's got this fucking sign because he's all about lizard tails. He's like, yeah, he's got this sign where lizard tails regenerate, and he has a fucking aluminum foil container with fucking beef jerky lizard tails he's chomping on.
Lizard tail jerky.
Yeah, you pull them off, eat them, they just grow right back.
It don't give a hoot, and you eat it too.
I just love that he carries it around with him in aluminum foil like it's a pepperoni or some shit.
Oh, man, who else we got here? We also got Norton, too, helping fucking Garrett Graham.
But he won't help him fix the satellite.
Yeah, he's not helping. He's just standing there drinking beer.
No can do, Mr. P.
Notably known for Gingerbread or Evil Bong 2 through 777. That does include 666 and 420.
Man, when I saw him in Evil Bong, the one, I think it was King Bong or some shit, whichever one had the scratch and sniff one, with the scratch and sniff card that they took on the road show, because that played at the Forum Theater in Metuchen, and they showed that, and when I saw him in that, I was like, holy shit, there's fucking Norton from TerrorVision.
There's that guy drinking all the heinies.
I told you, Mr. P, these do-it-yourself 100s are temperamental.
They don't cover repairs.
He's like, oh, I'll show you repairs. He grabs a hammer and just starts hitting the fucking satellite.
Beats the shit out of it.
Every shot of him makes it look like he's 3 feet tall.
Oh, yeah. And his fucking pants are jacked up to his tits.
Yeah, and his pants are jacked up. He's got this Heineken. It's huge in his hand. He looks like a tiny man.
This fucking movie is a Heineken commercial.
But yeah, you're right. The satellite does go on the fritz because this fucking creature in a ball of lightning crashes into it and it gets absorbed into the satellite dish.
Holy tomato.
Oh yeah, that's the dad's fucking signature line. He says it 3 or 4 times.
Right before this fucking thing crashes, though, we get introduced to Chad Allen, and he's playing Sherman Putterman. He's the little kid in the story. Oh man, he's the straight man of the story, which is hilarious.
Sweet straight man, sweet boy.
Yeah, he's walking around with a fucking loaded machine gun.
Yeah. By the way, Gramps is, again, like we said, a crazy war vet. This motherfucker has a bunker full of assault rifle, guns and shit, and grenades.
He's a nutty survivalist.
Yeah, he's a survivalist.
Yeah, and he's also got a few Confederate flags in there, of course, so he's got some traitor shit in there, of course.
Oh yeah, you keep those lizards, man. You survive on that lizard tail jerky, brother.
As long as I got my lizard tails and my Confederate flag, I can make it out of any situation.
Of course, my fucking bandolier of grenades.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
So Stanley's fixing up his fucking satellite dish, and the lightning hits it from space. We know it's the monster. They have no idea what the fuck's going on. But they finally get the TV to work. It finally works. And Stan's like dialing on it all in. This is the first shot we get of like the whole family together, like in the living room, going through this like new television that they just installed.
But I'm laser focused on this remote because this thing is a fucking monstrosity.
Dude, this thing is like it's a fighter pad, okay? It's one of those fucking big-ass arcade sticks you get at home if you want to get really good at Street Fighter.
It's got a satellite dish on the remote.
Yeah. It's got Wi-Fi.
It probably can. You could run Doom on that fucking thing, I'm sure, right?
I'm sure you can run Skyrim on it.
But they're like arguing over the remote. Dad puts like literal porn on and he goes, hey, yeah, Dad, channel 69.
We actually get
69.
Pops.
Yeah, they get their own little vignettes on the TV that correspond with their personality.
Yeah, exactly.
Susie's character gets Wasp. I'm a liar.
Yeah, sure does.
Dude, that is the performance from Dungeon Master.
It sure is.
They got
Same contract.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, Charlie Band shot that Wasp video. He's getting his fucking mileage out of it. Go back and listen to that Dungeon Master episode we did.
We get that for her, and then Gramps gets his troop movements.
Troop movements, leave it here.
It's just stock footage of marching soldiers.
Writhing mess of human bodies sucking and contorting straight out of society.
Oh yeah, dude.
Grody, Mom, that's grungy. And it's like channel 69. Which, by the way, what is it? In our movie, if you look at the here's a plug, hey, we make movies. In our Halloween special, we've got channel 69 going on.
Yeah. They flip on MTV and in the Wasp video, like Serj said, is on, and fucking Gramps freaks out. He's like intellectual decay, it'll rot your brain, turn it off.
But then they put on the Medusa Midnight Horrorthon.
Oh, dude. She's so fucking good.
They zoom in on Grandpa's face and he goes, how would you take a look at those Hooters?
Would you look at those Hooters?
And they even have this hilarious shot. Like it might be a scene later on, but when they're watching the show and the camera literally zooms in all the way into this Medusa character's like chest, like as close as possible.
Dude, I think this is the first and only time ever in film history has a shot of cleavage faded into the giant claw.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, it's beautiful, dude. And that cleavage got her the job.
Oh yeah, she like walked in and was like, and Ted was like, you got giant tits, you Medusa, here you go.
Fuck me up, Medusa. Suplex me.
I love her like little like interim things because we cut back a bunch like during the film, and she's like one look at me and you're hard as a rock. Just ask my ex-boyfriend or whatever. And she like looks at, there's like a statue of fucking David next to her.
All you perverts out there.
You phone freaks.
I love that her hair looks like balloon animals. Like it's so cheap looking.
She's actually, forgive me, I forgot the actress's name, but she's actually like super smart. She's got like a super high IQ and she's from Brooklyn. That I know. I can't remember her name, though, but she's great. So we get my favorite character in the entire fucking movie. John Grise is playing O.D.
Uncle Rico himself.
Fucking, he's the Wolfman in Monster Squad, and he's actually played two Wolfmen? He's the Wolfman in Fright Night 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Huh. Well, I just know he's Uncle Rico in Napoleon Dynamite.
Holy shit.
He's Uncle Rico in Napoleon Dynamite. And have you guys ever seen the Sasquatch Dumpling Gang?
No.
Or the Sasquatch Gang, excuse me. Oh, man, that's a great one. And he's in that as like a forest ranger. Funny as hell.
Yeah, he's funny as hell in this, too.
Oh, dude, he's amazing.
I'm convinced his character's father's Otto, the bus driver from The Simpsons.
O.D.
Dude, Kit, where you been, son?
You like metal? Kiss the boot. What does he say? Kiss my asshole.
Yeah, with a gun to the crotch.
Yeah, he's like, kiss the ass, bozo. He like fucking Sherman sticks a thing in his dick, the gun. I love when OD comes in and Garrett Graham and Mary are like, they're like, who's at the door? He's like, oh, that's my boyfriend, OD. And he's like, OD? Is that an Irish boy?
Framed in the opposite way of Norton, looking tall as hell in every scene with a huge perm and chains all over him, a Wasp shirt because contracts.
His hair looks like it's trying to escape the entire film. Like it's so big.
Mouth is slack, buck teeth for all the world to display, and all the machismo anybody Spiro could even off.
Oh, Spiro.
Oh man, I don't know, Spiro. We'll get to his ass. So he comes in and he's like, he introduces himself because Susie's like, oh, you got to meet my folks or whatever, and he's like, oh man, what a drag. So he goes in and he's like, oh, hello, Mrs. and Mr. Putterman, and he goes, oh, Mrs. Putterman, what a beautiful outfit.
Kisses her hand, I think,
because she's in like a fucking workout attire.
Oh yeah. And then she just like casually says to her husband, like, oh, we're going swinging.
Yeah. And the look on his face is like, holy shit.
And then Dad's like, oh, okay, yeah. Gotta go to the locker room and get ready. And I love how they do like a slam cut to them getting changed in like their 70s ass outfits. And he's like, oh yeah, he looks like an idiot as he's putting on like these fucking like medallions.
Yeah. Don't they know how ridiculous they look?
Yeah, with like a 10-foot long chain that's wrapped around his neck with like 4 additional chains around it. He's like, doesn't he realize how ridiculous he looks? Ching.
He's going to fucking kick it with John Travolta, man.
Yeah, John Travolta wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
So yeah, so Gramps and Sherman are watching the fucking TV. They're watching Medusa, and
they fall asleep, right?
They end up falling asleep, and then they see that they're watching the monster movies, the marathon, and the TV gets all fucked up because Grandpa tries to change the channel again, and he's gonna break it or whatever.
He touches like every button in like a random order, and he's like, this damn thing,
Let's see what's up with the recon satellites, and he ends up fucking it up. But the monster then shows up on screen, and Sherman's like, whoa, looks like a cool movie. And this is the first instance of like this monster like looking at them through the television, pretty much.
Yeah, and you got that Frank Welker growl.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's there.
And it says, "Long live the new flesh."
Yeah. James Woods is there. He's got his fucking vagina chest and everything.
Just shoots everybody. I walked into the wrong house. I'm sorry.
Oops. Not like anybody would notice.
And Mont just give me a little mahogany.
Getting wood there? Getting wood there, Grandpa?
Getting wood there? Oh, God. You got a little boss in there, Grandpa?
Oak Sherman?
Mahogany, baby.
Don't mind me. I'm here hunting vampires. Have you seen any?
So then they, like, as you guys are saying, they're sleeping, and this creature, you kind of get the POV shot, and you see, like, you can only assume it's like a tentacle coming up the blanket.
It comes out of the fucking television.
Well, right, originally.
Do we get those the shots of what the different colored lightning coming out of it?
Oh yeah, that's before Mom and Dad leave. That does happen, and like there's like that reverse vacuum effect.
Ooh. Oh, dude, I love that when like I love when the monster comes out of the TV because there's like like all this wind starts blowing. It looks like fucking the ghost is coming at the librarian in Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Where like the wind starts blowing and stuff. Oh yeah, that's when they were all around the TV and they were fighting with the controller and that shit happened.
Yeah, but we cut to this scene where the creature starts putting like its tentacle up his blanket, and he throws the blanket away, and it's like this fucking eyeball thing like in Star Wars staring at him in the fucking trash compactor.
Oh yeah, dude.
And then Grandpa wakes up and you see this ugly son of a bitch just staring him in the face, this fucking hunk of fucking silly putty.
With a mouth.
Oh, it's a booger with teeth.
Yeah. It jumps back into the TV and he's like, hey boy, did you see that, boy? And he's like,
wait, what in Sam Hill?
It was a monster. And he's like, it was a goddamn bagler.
With a Halloween mask on.
They scared the poop out of you.
They go so far as even they see Norton outside, the repairman, and they're like, yeah, you don't have a Halloween mask in that bag, do you?
That's one of the best gags.
Again, pull guns on him.
Oh, yeah, because they load up in the safe house. They're grabbing grenades. They're grabbing, like, bandoliers.
You remember what I told you about the 30-round magazine, boy?
I remember.
Yeah, Grandpa, I didn't forget. You make me train every day after school.
How can I? I'm trapped in this house with you you crazy old man.
They're going around the house looking for this fucking burglar that doesn't exist. And like he's like, okay, little buddy, go in that room. You stay here. I'll be right back. And he like goes and like starts drinking whiskey. He's all shaking and shit, dude. And he's like taking like shots of bourbon.
Yeah, well, that's his demise because shortly thereafter, the repairman gets killed off screen, and then Grandpa's like farting around in the liquor closet. And the monster just comes up behind him and just grabs him by the fucking head with his pincer.
Oh, there's a beautiful shot of the monster recognizing him from the TV. I think it's stationary over Grandpa's shoulder, and the TV's up in the top right corner. TV in itself is panning downward from the eye to the teeth, and the teeth take up the entirety of the frame.
It's so good. Now, when this claw from this monster grabs Grandpa, it like grabs him on the side of his temples.
Oh my god.
And like squeezes his head and I guess injects this green shit into his body and basically melts him from the inside out, and he turns into this fucking goo on the floor.
I'll just say this. Everyone in this movie who dies gets street trashed.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best way to describe it.
There's so much pain involved. Can I try and recreate Gramps' scream?
Please.
Is that Godzilla?
As his body just involuntarily just starts firing its weapon at the fucking monster.
Dude, his fucking face like sinks in and folds in half, and he just becomes a puddle of shit on the floor.
Sean's right. Like his hand grabs onto the gun and it's firing at the floor and he's dying. What the Halloween special that we did it in a genre called deathcore. It's pretty modern. It's like death metal and like core stuff. So strictly quick kind of shit and heavy. And there's blast beats in it with the drums. And we synced those up with the video of the gun going off.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. So this fucking monster sticks its gross fucking tongue out and drinks Grandpa off the floor.
It was hungry. It was thirsty there, Joe.
It's a hungry beast.
Well, as we find out, yeah, that's its name.
Sherman calls the cops, and the guy on the other line's like, "Hey, so what do you mean there's a monster? What are you talking about?" And he's like, yeah. He's like, "There's a monster. I mean, Sherman. I mean, there's a monster in my house, and it my grandpa." And he's like, "If you fucking call back again, I'm gonna have you arrested."
I swear to God, kid, I'll murder you where you stand.
And while he's on the phone with the cops, the monster's watching him from like the TV behind him the whole time.
Oh yeah, the fucking claw comes out and like. You think he's gonna kill him, but he doesn't. It's great.
But then, yeah, then the parents get home with their fucking swinging partners. This guy Spiro and his wife.
Alejandro Rey playing Spiro. This guy is fucking amazing. I think I dropped his exclamation on the fucking show a couple times. The Yasu line.
Yeah.
Yasu.
He seems like a Greek sex god based on the way that he's presented in this film.
He's a satyr, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Spiro actually translates to spirit in Greek. I thought that was interesting.
What is Spiro Kalabos? That's his last name.
Horny spirit he is.
Spiro Mutilate?
Spiro Cut Short.
Hello, I'm Spirit No Thumbs.
I kind of love, though, how Mom is just, like, so hot to trot that the second that Sherman shows up, with a machine gun, by the way, she's just like, she's not even mad that he has the gun. She's mad that he's like fucking up her like foursome.
Oh man, she's like, oh, he's just hang on a second. He's having another one of his attacks. Wake up, Sherman, wake up.
Sherry goes, is he joining?
Is he gonna be joining us?
I didn't know Jeffrey Jones was in the party.
Oh no.
And then Sherman shoots him. That's how that happened.
Yeah, blows his fucking face off.
Yeah.
He showed up, and then Sherman just blew him away at the door.
Hits him in the head with a fucking cross. That's what happened. Or no, he shoots him. Yeah, he shoots him with a musket in the chest.
No, he takes him out like they take Hitler out in Inglourious Basterds. He's just standing there with that Tommy gun, just turning his face into Swiss cheese.
So she's like, "Oh, he just needs a pill. I'll be right back, and then we can get to the fucking." And she ends up like, he's freaking out. He's like, "Mom's grandpa is dead, and the monster." So this is the first instance we get where this monster can like transform its like tongue into people that it's consumed. So it turns itself into Grandpa,
covered in jelly.
Yeah, there's that Cumdar juice.
Yeah, covered in fucking lube.
Yeah, these people are such idiots. It's like Grandpa's disembodied head. Isn't it wrapped in a blanket or something, too?
Yeah, I'm just taking care of business.
Yeah.
He's wrapped in a blanket, just dripping this gross shit. And he's like, everything's fine. Go away.
Just jacking off down there, honey. What do you want?
To be fair, Grandpa's carried that same vacuous energy the entirety of the movie.
It's true.
Yeah. And then she throws him in there and like locks him in with this fucking creature because she's got to get laid.
Yeah, but well, she doesn't believe that there's a fucking monster down there, and she sees her dad like being all fucking weird, and she doesn't give a shit. She pushes Sherman down there and locks the door with like this heavy duty chain and like lock.
Sherman's misbehaving and Dad's covered in cum. Anyway,
kicks him down the fucking stairs.
So then like Dad's showing the two people like his pool area because he's got his sex palace, his pleasure palace.
Oh, the pleasure palace in the pleasure zone.
The pleasure dome.
The pleasure dome.
And he is hot and heavy for this woman, kissing up on her, grabbing her ass, and his wife and Spiro go in the other room because he's gonna make them some mimosas.
No, a fucking
Margaritas, excuse me.
an Ouzo margarita, some kind of Greek fucking thing. I love when they're walking through, just real quick, I love when they're walking through and he's like, oh, art collectors, huh? And he's like, yeah, I know a place where you can get all this shit real cheap.
All right, let me rattle off some favorite of the paintings, by the way, because we haven't touched upon that yet. There's porn all over this wall. It's phenomenal. Yeah. What is it? There's woman face down like a dog, woman behind her, both leather clad with a whip in one's hand, kissing the other's boot. Then, all right, there's full body that kind of resembles like an impressionistic face with round titties for the eyes and a belly button for the mouth. There's I've been struck by lightning, but it's really horny lightning, so I'm ass naked.
It's the pleasure den, man.
That's a pleasure house.
It gets you in the mood, you know?
But it's also like where the main TV is. You know they're fucking people on those couches and not cleaning it.
That's what all that goo is all over the place, yeah.
Yeah, the monster came dry.
Yeah. You know, Grandpa and Sherman were sitting on the couch watching that Medusa show, and, you know, Grandpa reaches down for some popcorn, and he puts his hand in between the cushions by mistake, and a condom sticks to his fucking knuckle.
What's this, boy?
It's Mom and Dad's, Grandpa. Just put it back. But anyway, so Spiro's chit-chatting with Raquel, a.k.a. Mom.
Raquel.
And he finally drops the bomb on her. I guess they're not picking up the hints that are pretty obvious to the audience.
Oh, tell me about your man. Does he dishes?
Does Stanley take it like a man? He's a real Renaissance man.
He's a very manly man.
Yeah, she's like, oh, he's a man's man. He's like, oh, I like that.
She's like, does he take it like a man? She's like, yeah, I guess he does. And he's like, I thought so.
And then she finally is like, wait, you mean? He's like, yeah. He's like, I said I was Greek.
The joke is he's a gay.
I'm Greek, you know? And she's like, oh, it's okay. We're not prejudiced. And he's like, no. I'm into boys.
This and the follow-up, I guess, gag with the dad, like 5 minutes later, I was like, eee!
Well, yeah.
She also has a line there before she finds out that he's into her husband, not her. She's like, oh, yeah, he's really intelligent. And we cut to him, like, half naked with, like, a Speedo on in the bathroom, like, you know, posing and, like, oh, ah, like all impressed with himself.
He's got a high IQ.
But I love, we kind of move from this scene to where Spiro goes to the pool while Mom's like, I'm going to wait a minute and talk to my husband. And you kind of know, just if you've seen these kind of movies before, that something's up because you just see the blonde woman in the pool, but you can only see from her neck up.
Oh, man.
So this was all done with dried ice, and they created a new problem because I guess dry ice in that water made it fucking frigid.
You got to be careful with that.
Yeah, it made everybody super uncomfortable in the water.
I couldn't imagine working in that environment. Getting out, you can't breathe because it's humid, it's hot as shit, and then stepping into that, like, what does that do to your body?
Shocks to shit.
It probably makes you sick as shit, yeah.
Well, this chick's got to stand almost totally still smiling because, you know, to us, we're like, oh, this is the fucking monster. But to Spiro, no idea. He goes in. He's like, yeah, you want to have a little quickie before they get here, before that big boy gets here?
Well, he's
fluttering across the pool.
He's swimming across. He's like, what is this, algae? Oh, it's squishy.
What is this? He lifts his hand out of the water. It's
algae?
Sex lubricants?
Yes, we filled the pool with Spiro.
That's exactly what it is, Spiro. You're absolutely correct. Are we going to swing or what?
Yeah, I love that when Dad comes in and Mom's like, by the way.
Looking good, too, huh?
But before that, Spiro, he gets too close to his wife/girlfriend or whatever she is, and the fucking creature appears.
Oh, man, and, alligator claws right around the face.
Yeah, it's fucking cool, man. It comes up and, like, grabs him by the head and, you know, gets him.
Yeah, it gives him the Palmer from The Thing.
Oh, yeah, it does.
So Spiro's toast.
Yeah, and then fucking Garrett Graham walks in and he's like, oh, listen, Spiro, we gotta talk. And the whole...
I'm sorry. He walks in and says, listen here, you homo.
No, he doesn't. He does not say that. He says, listen, Spiro guy, we gotta talk. And then he goes, and then he's like, oh, what the hell did that homo do to the jacuzzi, is what he says.
Right, yeah.
Oh, semantics.
It wasn't the guy that you invited into your home that you're now besmirching. It was the alien that came and God knows what else.
Yeah, Oh, yeah.
Came, shit, pissed all at the same time. It's pretty excited about food.
Well, Warrenov thinks that the fucking Cherry, like, threw up in the pool from the fucking cocktail that the dude made, because he's like, what the fuck is in this, rocket fuel or some shit?
There's just layers of, like, mold and, like, skin cells and garbage and shit.
Oh,
she
dude.
looks at this thing floating across her. It looks like it's going to kill her. And she says, well, maybe your drink made somebody kind of sicky poo.
It's disgusting. There's, like, lumps of flesh in this fucking cesspool.
The only time I've ever seen vomit in that close to that volume, I guess, I was working at Marquee, the theater in Toms River, and some girl vomited during Alice in Wonderland in the bathroom.
Oh, God.
And all of my coworkers were like, nose goes, and I was like, all of you can go fuck yourselves. It was...
I see a trend.
I was like, is this person alive? Like,
It was an alien from outer space, Connor.
yes, it was not human.
And that's coming from somebody who works in the animal field.
Yes.
I do love how Dad makes that offensive comment and then is immediately killed by the monster.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no, what the hell is this? And it like shoots this fucking tentacle pincer like into his heart and he starts convulsing.
Yeah,
And he
he's
sells it so hard.
Garrett Graham's face in this. Anytime he has to do something like where he's getting like, I don't know, whether it's dying or like being mutated or something, it's fucking hilarious. Again, he's got that Beef face, dude, when Beef gets electrocuted in Phantom of the Paradise.
We also, like, during all this, like, we keep cutting back to the TV every once in a while, and all the characters just assume it's part of the Medusa show, but it's this alien from the beginning, Pluthar. Like, people of Earth, you must destroy the creature because it will devour your planet. And everyone's just like, huh, this is a pretty crappy movie tonight.
Disable your TV sets for the next 400 Earth years.
I've seen this episode of Doctor Who. Click.
We're terribly sorry for the inconvenience that we let this thing out on your planet.
Yeah, type that out, put it on the movie poster, send it out.
So, so Mom and Dad are fucking dead. D-E-D. And Sherman... recalls, like, Grandpa, like, remember what I told you about explosives, boy? Blow your dang balls off. So he fucking rigs up, like, C4 to the fucking door and blows it open, just as O.D. and Susie come home.
Imagine if Kevin McAllister had C4.
There be bodies.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Multiple bodies.
But he comes out and he's like chasing the monster or trying to find it, and his sister's like, you know what? I gotta give you your pills. You're acting up. You're acting crazy.
Yeah, OD's like, oh, pills, what color? He's like, all right, dude, pill freak.
And then we do see the monster, like, start to create, like, this dad clone, and, they run into, like, the fucking bedroom to basically be like, Mom, Sherman's being weird.
What do I do with this little asshole? They open the door and there's a whole like California queen size bed with multiple heads sitting at the end of it, lubrication covered, and just levers and pulleys and all kinds of things going on under some mechanics going on, writhing under the sheets.
Yeah.
It's Uzi's just like, Mom.
You remember, kids, you do your thing and we do ours. Keep it down, would you? Okay, kiddos. And she's like, wait, where's Grandpa? And he's like, and he like fucking pops up from between them.
Fucking pops out the middle of the whole thing.
Hey, honeybee, I'm just taking care of business.
Yeah, right in between the parents of all places. And Susie doesn't even bat an eye. She's just like, oh, that's disgusting, and then leaves the room. It's like, I'd have some questions. I mean, I might be standing outside the door with earplugs on, but I'd have some questions.
Yeah, fucking GVD like pushes past her when she's in the door. She's like, excuse me.
GVD to close the door is like, some mystery is not meant to be solved, my dear. She just closes the door.
And just falls into the fucking society pit.
We got the Six Flags guy popping out. We got GVD.
Oh, yeah, if this was the MDU, Gunner would be in there.
Oh, man, yeah. Dobby's the one that's fucking doing the business on everybody's lower parts, for sure. The fucking orgy of the damned.
They have given me a job.
Keep running my feet, you stupid house elf.
Dobby rubs cock.
I don't enjoy it, but if I admit that, they'll kill me, so it's a living.
It's better than working for Charnetsky.
I'll kick you right in the face, you little shit.
Get your nose out of there, you crazy elf.
I mean,
The
realistically,
gross machinations under that sheet are definitely going to grind up a few Dobbies.
Oh, yeah, baby.
he's constantly getting rolled over on.
That is like some fucking Caligula society shit going on in that bed.
So then they just assume Sherman's full of shit because as far as they're concerned, even though they just saw this really gross scene, everybody's alive that he says is dead.
Yeah. So they think he's a fucking nut. So OD's like watching TV while this is all going on. He's like, dig this fucking show. It's, because it's that Pluthar thing that Sean was talking about. And he's like, it's just one dude that just keeps talking. It's fucking dumb. And Sherman's like, where's the monster, man? And it just, like, comes out of the TV and, like, appears and scares the shit out of him.
Wind blowing. Everybody's nearly flying off of their feet. There's colors and lights and sounds.
I love all of that stuff, man. It's awesome. And he starts to go after OD, and he, like, puts his arms up, and because he's, like, got studs and, like, wearing, like, studded, like, wristlets and shit, it, like, stops for pause, and then we have this, like, monster flashback where he's, like, remembering Pluthar, like, being nice to him and, like, petting him and feeding him, like, moon rocks and shit.
All I could think of was the fucking Rancor Keeper from Return of the Jedi. Like,
Yep.
That poor guy's crying.
comes in like, I don't know.
But, like, in the process of this, the movie just, like, shifts the tone entirely for, like, 10 minutes, where they're now, like, just treating this thing as if it's their pet, and they're, like, trying to feed it food from the refrigerator.
I wasn't crazy about this stretch of the movie. I kind of feel like it sucked the momentum out from me for a little while.
It's kind of fun.
Oh, I kind of love it. I think it's fucking hilarious. It's a good little detour.
It's pretty great, dude.
Up until someone else comes out of the TV, but we'll get to that.
But they're just, it's like antics of, like, they try to feed it food and, like, teach it how to eat and shit, and, like, OD's eating a whole fucking pizza and shit.
They get it to say, like, their names. It's like, I'm Sherman, and it's like, Sherman. It's like a big dog. It's like a big dumb dog that can kill you instantly.
OD, and it's like, OD, man.
And this fucking thing, like, sneezes on Sherman like the Brachiosaur in Jurassic Park. I see you, Steven Spielberg. I know you did. You took from Ted Nicolau. That's what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a criminal. He stole from this movie.
He stole from TerrorVision.
Ted needs to get his fucking royalty checks.
First, you uncovered the Calabos secret.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. James Wan ripping off Calabos.
Yes.
This is an expose
no.
podcast. We're calling out shiesty assholes
All the bigwigs are getting taken down.
by Movie Dumpster.
So they try to feed it a bunch of junk food and it, like, doesn't eat it or whatever. And they teach it, like, music, and they're like, they put on some, like, fucking smooth jazz or some shit, and it's, like, into it. And then OD puts on his he's like, dude, oh, you want to listen to that, man? Rot your brain. And he, like, he's like, this is my band. And he, like, puts it in.
That's the same script I use. I go, this is my band. And my girlfriend introduces me like Susie did to him. He's a musical genius.
Also, I just found the promo for this episode. It's going to be that scene, but he's going to crank
Oh my god.
the fucking, the
theme song.
Yeah.
Hungry Beast.
Oh, hell yeah.
But he breaks the speaker. He doesn't like the sound of it at all. And then he keeps trying to watch TV, and the monster keeps yelling, TV, TV, TV. It becomes like a couch potato. So then finally, like,
They go to try to make money off it. And they call Medusa again because Sherman... Oh, we missed that part. Sherman calls Medusa and she, like, fucks with him. But they call her up and they're basically like, oh, yeah, we got the monster from space or whatever. And we're his managers. So,
I got some parties to go to.
We want to book him on television. And she's like, I got parties or whatever I'm going to's. And they're like, oh, well, we're having a big party right now for the alien monster. And she, like, gives her the address. She's like, yeah, whatever. So see if I can make it or whatever.
There's going to be cocaine? All right, I'll be right there.
Oh, dude, she's a booze hound for sure, too. She, like, asks her fucking assistant to go get her a beer, and he, like, brings it back, and it's, like, this most egregious fucking shot of it, like, in front of the camera as she takes a sip of it.
Oh, okay. So then this is when stuff starts to, shit the fan again. Or, excuse me, let me say that again.
Shit the fan? No, I love that.
Hits start to shit the fan.
Yeah. Well, whatever. We'll fix it in post, maybe.
Can we make that a shirt? Shit the fan?
Shit the fan.
Shit starts to hit the fan again because OD, gets a little too fucking comfortable with this creature, tends to forget that it's basically a bear in your apartment, and he... It starts yelling about the TV, so he, like, slaps and he goes, hey, you butthole, shut up! And the monster just kills him.
So this effect fucked this dude's face up.
Yeah.
So when they put that, like, sucker on his face, it's shooting green liquid out of the prosthetic, and I guess it was just blasting this goop right into this dude's eyes at really high speed and pressure.
Oh, dude, he looks like he's
and
insane.
John Greaves got fucked up, like in
the
shooting. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it was pretty painful.
That sucks, dude.
Well, he uses its head that's on the tongue that it uses to transform, like to bite him in the fucking face, like a deep rising fucking tentacle.
Yeah, it's pretty great. By the way, like, as this is happening, the doorbell had rung, and it's the fucking cop from before because Sherman calls him again.
Yeah,
And he shows up with a warrant to arrest the child.
Yeah. I love when the doorbell rings and Susie goes to answer it and OD goes, "Don't let any strangers in."
yeah. And then after he gets killed, Sherman's running in. He throws a fucking grenade behind him to hit the monster, and the cop's like, "Whoa, hold on a second." Pulls out his revolver, and the monster like kills him off screen. No struggle.
Ian Patrick Williams, by the way, he is the dad in Dolls.
Oh. So a little Empire connection here.
He's also one of the Swiss doctors in Reanimator, right?
Yep, right in the beginning. Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he gets his hand melted off to shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, it turns into fucking gross baby hand from being like inside this thing's tongue mouth.
And that's how I got my strong hand.
I used to be a cop until a space monster melted my hand. It sounded better in my head. Skyrim, everybody.
Yeah, until I took an acid tongue to the hand.
Yeah, there we go.
No lollygeigen.
It turns this cop into a pile of shit.
Well, they try to make another phone call, but I guess because he made those 2 calls to the cops, they think that they were pranks. They just shut the phone line off on him.
Which is something I didn't think you could do.
Yeah, because they're in the shelter and they're trying to call for more help, and so then they run out of the shelter, stacked to the 9s, and they run past the cops' fucking puddle on the ground.
I love how OD's puddle is in the shape of a fucking guitar.
Yes.
And it's got his little bullet belts around it in certain spots.
Yeah, that part was great. Then we get more electricity coming out of the fucking TV. And Sherman, he finally starts like blowing the TVs up. He's kind of figuring out that whatever Pluthar is saying on the TV about shutting TVs off is the trick to get rid of this monster.
Yeah. And then they're just kind of like hunting this thing and they find it. It's like sitting in the fucking jacuzzi watching Earth versus the Flying Saucers and just like laughing his ass off, going like, TV, TV.
At me my entire childhood until now.
Oh yeah, that was me watching this fucking movie today for sure.
TerrorVision.
TerrorVision. So yeah, Sherman goes in there to like grab his plan is to throw the fucking remote control in the pool to electrocute it. And he's like making his way over there and he like slips in the fucking, I don't know what, monster snail trail.
Grandpa's remains that are on the ground, his entrails.
Probably, yeah. Spiro's fucking drip spot. But it grabs him, and he ends up, like, sawing a fucking tentacle off, and Susie throws the fucking remote in and electrocutes it. But, spoilers, it doesn't die.
No, and then fucking, like Connor said, Pluthar now comes out of the TV in his space fucking suit.
Oh, my God. Okay, so he comes out in a spacesuit, and he comes in, he starts doing his, like, "Hello, I am Pluthar." And the kids are armed. I really thought that he was going to pop out this TV, start talking, and they were just going to blow him away.
Mow him down.
Like Bill Murray in Zombieland kind of thing.
I mean, yeah.
I am Pluthar.
Because Medusa arrives there for the big party. She's like, "Oh, the cops already got called. This is going to be a happening party."
Both of the major tertiary characters are coming at them with different intentions at the same time.
Oh, man. Pluthar's like, "Oh, my God, it ate your mom and dad?"
I'm
like,
so sorry.
"Well, we can fix it. If I can capture the beast alive, we can extract the DNA." And they're like, "You're going to make clones of our parents?" He's like, No. They're going to be the real mommy and daddy, but they're going to have to live in special aquariums.
They're going to have to live in petri dishes.
Yeah. Fucking love that line, dude.
So then Medusa comes in and sees him standing there with like a space blaster.
He's pointing a gun at the kids.
Yeah, like that he's holding them up. And then she like just grabs some kind of like statue off a shelf and just...
No, she hits him with her fucking bag, her purse.
Oh, yeah. Brains him.
Cracks his spacesuit and there's air leaking out
and he's
of
like,
it.
"I am depressurizing."
He's like, "Losing pressure." And his fucking head pops in the suit.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah, you're welcome. I saved your asses."
You're like, "You doomed us."
"You stupid bitch. You killed the one guy who could stop this thing."
Let me nerd out over one last thing that we did in our little Halloween special that featured scenes from TerrorVision. I've got a vocal hold at one point. I go bleh, or whatever, and right at the end of it, you got Pluthar's head exploding.
I do love. We didn't really talk about Pluthar because he's such a background character, but I really do like the makeup work on this character. He kind of has like a reptilian, alien, kind of like a reptile combined with like a Klingon look, I would argue.
He almost is reminiscent of the Emir from 20 Million Miles to Earth.
He kind of it's somewhere between like Black Lagoon and that guy that Mando takes and puts in carbonite in the first episode of The Mandalorian.
Fishy for sure. He's got
Yes.
got a little bit of a fin on his forehead, and he can't breathe human air.
Right.
And it's, you know, we haven't really talked about it. Like, we're laughing at shit, but like this movie's black comedy, dark comedy is so pitch perfect. And when that happens, it's like you just have to laugh. You're not like, all right, they're fucked. Like, even though they are, you're more so just laughing at like how ridiculous it is. Like, oh yeah, of course the one guy that could help him is now dead by this bitch in a Medusa costume.
Yeah.
Speaking of the comedy, Ted Nicolau, of course, wanted it funny, right? Which was going on, which is going against what was initially planned. He put his spin on it. It was funny. They had Richard Band come on to do the score. Ted Nicolau, if I remember, it wasn't entirely satisfied with the score because it's so cartoonish, it's so in your face, it's so constant, and it's so just like jiggling on these deep keys on the chords.
No,
but you know what? It gives me all the permission in the world I need to laugh at these motherfuckers dying.
I think Richard Band hadn't done anything like this up until this point, and he was like, "Oh, you want me to make it stupid? Okay."
Because if you look at the other things that he's done, I love the soundtrack for Zone Troopers and Resurrected.
Oh, dude, Zone Troopers, Ghoulies, Troll, fucking Reanimator, even though it's a fucking Psycho ripoff, but it's still good.
Oh man, other Empire Pictures soundtracks. Prison is a banger soundtrack.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
But I kind of love how then, you know, Pluthar's dead. They can't get the gun to work because there's some kind of like recognition with him, and it doesn't work for them.
He manages to buzz off a fucking round, but it's like it's like one of those rainbow squiggles, but he only gets one off.
Yeah,
and he misses.
Right, he misses, and then the alien's like, "All right, now I might be in danger," and just goes into like full suck mode.
Bro, he breaks the fucking wall down, ready to eat them.
He goes full Kool-Aid, man.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh yeah, TB.
Gonna say, beautiful shot. When that wall breaks down and there's nothing but blue behind him for some reason.
It's nice and wide,
and
too.
red in front of him and really wide.
Yeah, it's wide. You got all the debris falling in front of you. You see that big chunk of the wall fall out.
Well, when he goes from blow to suck, he goes, "Meat back on your table, boys."
I love the shot of Sherman when he gets like sucked up and the fucking camera like follows the kid flying through the air like behind him to the monster. I love that shot.
Reminds me of the end of House by the Cemetery with Bob. It's like, oh look, Bob made it out okay. Oh wait, no, he did not.
No.
So Eric from Phantom Zone told me that as a child, 10,000 years ago when he was a child, because Eric is old as time, this movie apparently fucked him up and gave him nightmares because it was inconceivable that a movie monster could win. And I thought that was very funny.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Well, there's some foreshadowing to that earlier because Grandpa makes a comment about horror movies. He's like, "Oh yeah, horror movies are educational." He's like, "They're all about survival." And he's like, "You know, the best thing about horror movies, they always figure out a way to neutralize the enemy." And I love how that's kind of like setting that idea up in your head. And then the end of the movie is, no, they didn't. They couldn't. They're all dead.
So it cuts to the next day, and Medusa's driver is like sleeping in the fucking car, and he gets tapped on the shoulder by the monster claw, and he fucking turns around, and it's the monster, but it's like a half mutated Medusa head.
It's got a claw.
It's got the blanket on again.
Yeah, the whole catchphrase from the movie, or her catchphrase has been like, "Come on, come on, come on," and yeah. She's like, "Go to the studio, Al. We got to go through some fucking TVs, baby.
We got to do some business."
And then peel out that limo, and we're gone.
And cue the fucking Fibonacci's, baby, because we wrap it the fuck up. So where are we putting this, guys?
Oh man, yeah, I'll go first. Let me have
go ahead.
All right, so I do have a shelf. We all have a shelf. The shelf is our spirit. The shelf is our soul. The self is made up of things that we enjoy. TerrorVision is, without a doubt, the wallpaper on my shelf, right? It's the outward facing on the inside and outside. It's just the stamp and roll it down. It's the background for my shelf, for sure. It's what I base myself on. Honestly, like, hey, I'm Sergio. I also act as a different person with my band called Zigwate. And I try and model that person off of both Medusa, or Medusa, some amalgamation between her and Susie and OD. Just like ready to party, man, but also kind of sweet, but I will kick your ass.
Gotta lay down the law sometimes, right?
Oh yeah, man. Kiss the boot.
Shelf. There's about a 10-minute stretch where I'm like, and it gets a little boring for me, but that's not anything. It's not a deal breaker at all. This movie is very weird, very funny. And I like halfway through, I was like, "Is this like Monster in the Closet?" I'm gonna be like, "It's fine, but not for me."
It's a first watch for any of you guys?
Yes.
Oh, really?
I know. Well, here's the thing. So there's like a lot of these movies that I have encountered but not seen. I have like a backlog of in my head because as soon as like the show got rolling, I was like, well, why would I watch that in my spare time when I can just watch it on the show?
Because it's fucking rules, that's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Watching my Halloween special in your spare time, obviously.
Yes.
Exactly. So yeah, this is Shelf. It's dumb. It's got some unexpectedly kind of sharp satire. The monster is spectacular to look at. And it's, I don't know, it's oddball and weird and funny. It's just, I don't know, it's a nice little surprise.
Shelf. It has been. Since I've even fucking heard of this movie, it has always held a special place in my heart. It is so fucking weird and amazing, and I think every time I watch it, it gets funnier to me. I can memorize I have the whole fucking movie pretty much memorized. Like, I could just do it by heart. And there's not many films that I can say I can do that with. I think, like, one of the only other ones is, like, maybe Ghostbusters, and a handful of others. But, this is one I've seen quite a few times, and for a stint, I was, like, super obsessed with it. Like, I have a bunch of, like, memorabilia from the movie and stuff, that I'll post it on the Instagram and stuff. But I've met about 90% of the people involved with this film, and it was a pleasure to talk to Ted about it in person, and Diane and Garrett, and even John when I got to meet John Buechler. It was like now when we talk about, like, Charlie Band and, like, how he takes chances, I think this was a huge chance for him, especially gambling that late at their peak, right, where they had enough money to kind of make it, and were expecting an income. And I feel really bad that this took a shit at the box office and, like, didn't reach the audience that it needed to at the time. But I'm so happy that this film has found its audience, and I can share it with people like you guys, and of course most of you have seen it too. I think I shared it with Sean, and now we're sharing it with Connor. And Serj has been a veteran of this film as well. He's a lover of it. I know it's like, sign me up, dude. Like, again, that's pretty much my child, like, right, that cusp of being a child to being an adult.
We can both relate on walking through video stores and picking something up just because of the cover.
Oh yeah,
right? And you're mainlining it with that. Sometimes it's shit. Yeah,
but there was a time when, anything that had the full moon branding on it, that shit was coming home, especially when it first came out. TerrorVision is just this anomaly that was made with a lot of love, and, like, as shitty as the conditions were on this film and how rushed some of the parts might have been, the fucking cast is stellar. Like, 4 stars. Like, I don't think anybody could do as good a job as all the cast did for this film. Ted is an excellent director, and the cinematographer they got, I can't remember his name, but I believe Albani.
He worked with Fellini.
Yeah, he worked for fucking Fellini. Like, everything is shot and lit absolutely gorgeous. And I think Buechler even said, I'm just going to I'm going to paraphrase Buechler and say, like, this is a B movie, with a motion, like a theatrical motion picture budget, you know what I mean? Or a look to it, rather. And I think that's why it's held up so well, because it's a goofy premise, but the writing is fucking tack sharp, and it looks amazing. All the special effects are fucking great, and it's just a fun time. Like, when I think of, like, movies to put on when I have a bunch of people over, like, TerrorVision is in that top 3.
Do you want a
list.
Movie that invites you to have a good time? Watch this. Watch it with the crowd. Watch it alone. I don't care. If you're just looking to purely have a good time, the actors had a great time despite the situations and the things around that. The people creating it, the effects people made it, had a great time. They were hanging out in Italy and drinking and partying.
Oh yeah, man.
What Cleve Hall's nickname was Spunapitiano dell'Inferno. That was awful, but it's a sponge whore from hell, because in Italy, if you're a sponge, you drink a lot, you soak it up.
Yeah, but you know, it's a labor of love, and it fucking hits all those sweet, tasty notes in the prime of the Empire Pictures heyday. So yeah, shelf indefinitely.
Yeah, this is a shelf movie without a doubt. This is like my third or fourth time seeing this, and like I mentioned earlier, Joe was the one that turned me on to this, fired it up back in high school, and been a fan ever since. But it had been like probably 10 or 12 years since I watched it, and so I forgot most of the movie. Like, as things are happening, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, like after you haven't seen a movie in a while. But it holds up in just about every scene, and I know Connor, you didn't really love that little detour where they're treating the animal like, or the monster rather, like a pet.
It's a slow montage.
Yeah, I think that shit is fucking hilarious, because like the whole movie, you know, it basically is acting like a very hungry pet, like a dog with its fucking mouth hanging out, or it's with its tongue hanging out, and I don't know, it's a weird little detour, and then shit hits the fan, or what did I say? Shit in the fan. Yeah, shit the fan.
Shit the fan.
You shit the fan. Yeah.
I don't really know what else to say. Like, it's a weird movie. Like, some people might argue this is a dumpster film, and like it has all the dressings of a dumpster movie, but it just like lands. It makes the landing every time, and it shakes off that fucking dumpster junk, and you know, instead trades it in for hot cum. And you know, it sits on the shelf dripping and solidifying all over the place, and you know, I wouldn't handle that thing after a viewing for a while, but it stays up there, and it earns its keep. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, this is prime movie dumpster. This is the one that you always want to find, right? This is the gem that you always want to stumble across and be pleasantly surprised by. And
is it perfect? Not in my opinion, but is it very good? Yes.
That's a goddamn 10. All right.
Yeah, it's a fucking 10, dude. But yeah, man, thank you so much for joining us again, and thank you for your support for the show. Again, since our humble beginnings and our humble present situation, you know, we really appreciate it, Serj, and you know, thank you. Just a big thank you for all your support over the years and continuing support.
Oh, it's been easy.
But where can everybody find you again?
You can find me on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, all whatever, man. Just
come on. What's the name of the band?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you could find us. I mean, I assume whoever's listening to this also listens to music. Just find us there. Our name is spelled
What the hell is music?
Lethean. Music is what some people can say that we make. Mostly it's over some really tasty grooves and jams and sweet parts.
Yeah, you got a little preview of that at the beginning of the episode, and you're going to get it again.
Yeah, find us on YouTube. Watch our movie. Tell us what you think about it.
I think it's awesome.
I think it's awesome, too. Definitely go follow them and check out their shit and whatever do you guys have stuff for sale?
We do. Yeah, we've got shirts. We've got a demo that we made last year that we actually for the movie tracked that whole demo plus a bonus track all live, all at the top of our game. Like, oh, it's a 10-hour day to track all that, but we got some banger shit out of it. So that's awesome, dude. And where can folks like go and like purchase stuff from you? Letheanband.com. Letheanband. Like there you go. Like the movie composer. There you go.
Like Yanni.
Like Yanni and Richard Band, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good company.
George C. Scott, yeah.
Before we wrap this up, before you start going on, I do want to thank you guys for having me on. It's been a pleasure making your friendships over the past year. I didn't make your friendship, but I made friends with you.
Yeah.
One would say you have.
Always a pleasure.
It has been a super pleasure, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you as a person, so thank you.
The real TerrorVision was the friends we made along the way.
Seriously, though, it kind of is.
It really is, though. But But yeah, it's Fallen Empire month, folks. So stay tuned for the next episode. We got fucking sorority babes in the slime bowl-orama coming up with Mr. Lobo. That's gonna be a fucking banger too.
So
Oh yeah, dude.
Dude, I had a whole thing planned at the beginning of this when we were talking about Empire. I was going to interject and be like, well, you know, when you look at their list and you find sorority babes and the slime bowl-orama, you know what you're getting into.
Well, that's the thing. We wanted to cover the ones that aren't covered so much, I suppose.
And we're going to get Mr. Lobo on. He's been a long time coming to come on and lay down some trivia for us, and it's going to be a trip.
He's got some great stories to tell, and you're going to have to tune in for that.
Lobo's got a gorgeous mustache. My mustache says hi to his.
But yeah, and you know, since it's Empire's Pictures Month, we told you it's Fallen Empire Month, baby. So we got all that good stuff cooking on Patreon too. We're gonna have a commentary track for Arena.
Oh yeah,
Peter Manoogian's Arena,
bringing Peter back into the fold, back into the MDU.
Oh yeah, baby, fucking Demonic Toys alumni.
And Dungeon Master.
And the Dungeon Master, yeah. And we're doing a watch-along of Ghoulies 2. You didn't think we were going to leave you hanging with no fucking Ghoulies this month, did you?
Yeah, it'll be my first viewing. I've been hearing about this goddamn series for like 12 years.
Me too.
You guys aren't even going to start with 1? You're going to start with 2? Okay. That's how it's going to be? Okay.
I mean, I've never seen Troll. I've only ever seen Troll 2, so...
Well, make sure you listen to the soundtrack. Troll's soundtrack is a banger.
Oh yes. Well, okay. Well, speaking of Troll, that is going to be the last episode of this month, of this event month.
We're going to be closing out with my favorite movie. I mean, it alternates between that and Ghoulies, and it was very difficult to choose, but Troll ultimately won because there's more richness.
Yes.
To that film and what was behind it.
You got Phil Fondacaro. You got Sonny. From Sonny and Cher, you got Elaine Bennis.
You got fucking Harry Potter Jr., baby. You know the deal.
Yep. Noah Hathaway himself.
But yeah, so we're gonna squeeze some Ghoulies in there, and you know, probably Ghoulies, the first one, will be a future episode. But we've done a few Empire Pictures movies already in the Pantheon, the Movie Dumpster Pantheon. But we wanted to kind of get some different flavors in this month.
We wanted to dive into that toilet along with the Ghoulies.
Oh yeah, baby. Who knows? Maybe we'll do Ghoulies 1, 3, and 4 at some point.
1 through goes to college.
Yes.
And to join in on those festivities, just head over to patreon.com/moviedumpster. And again, it's just the $5 or $10 tier will get you into those commentary tracks and watch-alongs, and any tier will get you all the behind-the-scenes stuff, previews that. See, we got it from the horse's mouth ourselves.
That 5 or 10 gets you. You get a T-shirt in that $10 tier. You get sticker packs, fucking pins, glow-in-the-dark pins, all kinds of good stuff. Plus access to the archive of past shows and commentary tracks, past watch-alongs and commentary tracks.
Yep.
And then again, you know, go to moviedumpsterpodcast.com. All that good stuff is there. And please, 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 please do us a huge favor for no money at all. Go leave us that 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, because seriously, that seriously helps us, like, big time. If you're a longtime listener of the show or this is your first episode, please go do that if you dig it, please. I beg of you, please.
We also, by the way, I don't know if you saw the picture on Instagram a little while back. We have Movie Dumpster beach towels, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
If you're still listening, check them out. They're pretty fucking cool. Over at MovieDumpsterPodcast.com, you can find the store there.
So that's it. That's TerrorVision from 1986, directed by Ted Nicolau.
If you want some more good, bad, and god-awful movie goodness, head over to MovieDumpsterPodcast.com and follow us on all of your favorite social media and streaming platforms.
You can also head on over to our Patreon page and sign up for the $2, $5, or $10 tiers for monthly exclusive content, or drop by our merch store and grab yourself some non-committal swag.
Yeah, for no money at all, you can leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts to support your favorite show. I'm Joel Scola.
I'm Sean O'Rourke.
I'm Connor McGraw.
I'm Serj.
Thanks for visiting the dumpster.